All right, let's dive right in. Today, we are going to get a handle on one of the most powerful tools in any editor's toolkit, the zoom inside DaVinci Resolve. We're going to cover everything from the most basic tweaks to crafting those super smooth, cinematic moves that really make your videos pop. So, you ever watch a video and you just know it looks professional? A lot of that comes down to subtle, slick movements, these perfect zooms that guide your attention and just add this incredible layer of quality. Well, that's exactly what we're going to tear down today. By the time we're done here, you'll know exactly how to pull it off yourself.
Okay, first things first, let's get one thing straight. There are two types of zoom in Resolve. Timeline zoom is just for you, the editor. It helps you see your clips better to make cuts. But we're talking about video zoom. That's the creative tool, the one that your audience sees. It's how you punch in on a reaction or add that slow, dramatic flair.
Let's kick things off with the absolute foundation, the simple zoom. This is your bread and butter, the thing you'll use all the time for basic reframing, and it all happens right there in the inspector panel.
This is super straightforward. Just click on your clip in the timeline, pop open the inspector in the top right, and find the transform controls. You'll see a slider for zoom. Just drag it. Anything over 1.0 zooms in. Then just nudge the X and Y position sliders to get your framing perfect. That's it. Dead simple, right? It's the cleanest way to set a new static frame.
Okay, so static zooms are great. But what about adding that slick, smooth motion without having to do a ton of manual work? That's where dynamic zoom comes into play. You can think of it as a one-click wonder for professional-looking movement. Seriously, this thing is like Resolve's built-in cheat code. It's designed to give you quick, polished motion with almost no effort. You literally just flip one switch, and Resolve does all the heavy lifting, creating a beautiful zoom that lasts the entire length of your clip. So when you turn this on, you'll see these two colored boxes pop up right on your screen. It's really visual. The green box is where you start, and the red box is where you end. Green means go, red means stop. You just drag them around to set your start and end frames. And get this, if you want to zoom in instead of out, you just hit the swap button. It's that easy. Now, to really make this look good, you need to pay attention to easing. By default, it might be on linear, which feels kind of robotic. It starts and stops instantly. What you want for that really smooth, professional feel is ease in and out. It gently ramps up the speed and then gently slows down at the end. It's just so much more natural. Okay, you've got the simple stuff, you've got the automatic stuff. Are you ready to take the training wheels off? Let's talk about keyframes. This is where you get to be in the driver's seat. We're talking total creative freedom to build any custom zoom you can imagine. I absolutely love this analogy because it just clicks. A keyframe is just a bookmark in time. You're simply telling Resolve, hey, at this specific moment, I want the zoom to be right here. Then you move forward in time and say, and at this moment, I want it to be over here. Resolve then figures out all the steps in between to create a smooth motion. So how do we actually do this? It's a simple two-step dance. First, let's set our starting point. Park your playhead on the exact frame where you want the zoom to start. In the inspector, find the zoom property and click that tiny little diamond icon next to it. Bam, it turns red. You've just locked in your first keyframe, your first bookmark. Now for part two, the end point. Move your playhead to where you want the zoom to finish. And here's the coolest part. You don't have to click the diamond again. Just change the zoom value. That's it. Resolve is smart enough to know what you're doing, and it automatically drops in that second keyframe for you. Reframe the position if you need to, hit play, and boom, you just made a custom animation. Okay, so you just made your first keyframe animation, but you might notice it looks a little mechanical, a bit robotic, right? The speed is totally constant from start to finish. So what's the fix? You guessed it, we need to talk about easing again. And the good news is, it's so easy to fix. In the inspector, just right-click on one of those little red diamond keyframes you made. A menu will pop up, and you'll see our old friend, easing. And just like before, selecting ease in and out is what takes your animation from looking clunky to looking completely cinematic. All right, you've got the 3 core methods in your back pocket. Now let's level up your game with a quick lightning round of pro tips and fixes for those super common headaches you might run into. Now listen up, because this might be the single most important tip of all. If you think you're going to be zooming in your edit, shoot your footage in a higher resolution, period. If you're delivering a 1080p video, shooting in 4K gives you a ton of extra pixels to play with. It means you can punch way in on your shot and the image stays perfectly sharp and crisp. No more blurry messes. Let's run through the 3 most common frustrations. If your zoom looks robotic, you forgot to add easing. Go right-click that keyframe and fix it. If the video gets blurry, that means you're zooming in too far for your footage resolution. And if you can't see the controls at all, trust me, 9 times out of 10, you just haven't selected the clip on the timeline, or you close the inspector. We've all been there.
So how do you decide which method to use? Well, it all comes down to what you're trying to do. For a quick, static reframe, just use the basic transform controls. If you need a nice-looking motion effect, like right now, dynamic zoom is your best friend. But when you need to be the artist, when you need total control over the timing and feel, that's when you bring out the big guns, keyframes.
So really, the whole journey is a logical one. You start simple with the transform controls to get the feel for it. Then you use dynamic zoom when you need to work fast. And finally, you put in the time to really master keyframes, because that is where the ultimate creative control is waiting for you. So there you have it. You've got the complete toolkit now. Everything from the quick fix to the full-blown professional animation. The only question left is, what are you going to create? How are you going to use these tools to make your next story that much better? Thanks for tuning in.